G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing in the color red, representing Izzy Esports, it is Marine Lord on the Malians. And on the north side of the map, playing as the Mongols, ladies and gentlemen, it is Beastie Cutie in the color blue. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a bit of a curious map. What have we got going on here? This is one of the new maps that has been introduced by the developers, and well, this is... What is this? Is this a real map? This map is not real right now. Welcome to the Battle Dome. I don't... What's it called? You guys... There's a meme on this, like, I think it's the Battle Dome, isn't it? It looks like it's a little bit of a bigger map. I'm not sure 100%, but, yes, well, this, if I remember correctly, this map is called Clearing, but I really feel like Thunderdome, that's what it's called. Welcome to the Thunderdome. All right, well, we got a matchup right here. This is an early game matchup here. We've got the Mongols, who love to do the classic tower rush, going up against the Malians, who more recently have been doing a little bit, nice little steal away there, Beastie doing well, who like to do this Donzo rush. So we already see an interesting opening here for Marine Lord. He's got access to a huge amount of deer in his base, right next to it. We'll check in with Beastie to see how he's doing. He was actually going to go for a barracks, but he says, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I suspect that's because of the Donzo. The Donzo, obviously, quite a strong unit, especially in the Dark Age with its ability to throw the javelin. So, looks like Beastie just said, you know what? I'm just going to go, I'll just go H2. That's fine. He was actually thinking about it too. No pasture, though, to replace it. We'll tune in on the other side of the map and see how he's doing. We've got Marine Lord here, who's actually stacking up the wood quite a fair bit, so needs to work on his opening build order here. So it's definitely a little bit too much wood that he's got for now. We can see he's going to be actually able to apply pressure here on the Uvu. Is this going to be an outpost that comes down here? I've got a sneaking suspicion it will be, and indeed it is an outpost. Does cancel it though. So this is going to be more than enough to actually deal with this Uvu early on in the game. And the thing is, he needs to get this outpost down now, because if he doesn't, I guess the alternative is that he can move the town center if he wants to. You'd be... I mean, if you hand in all the villagers and then move the town center to the other side, then I think you might be okay. But Donzo now coming in. Let's see exactly how this plays out as Beastie on the defensive for the early game at the moment. He's cleaned up 200 gold as well, so the Gur could potentially move about, but that Uvu going to be under threat. Scout taking a couple of arrows from the town center for the moment. You can hear that that Uvu as how much, what percentage came off there? It was down... I guess it was 16%. I don't know why it makes that sound at 16%. I've just realized the UI here actually cuts off Beastie's name. You can see that it's 80 a minute, and then it's got the stone amount, but then it cuts off the name below the UI. But the age up now going to come through. Let's see how he plays it. Deer stone's coming down. 5 villagers on the age up as well. So he's looking to try and rush this age up as quickly as possible. He's got enough for an archery range. I can't help but feel like the Donzo might be able to take down this Uvu before. Now, the other alternative is that he looks to try and bring villagers out to repair it and get the archery range down at the same time. It doesn't look like Marine Lord's gone for any more Donzos. Has gone with the hit mine on the gold vein. You can see he's worked off about 9 gold on that, but he's going to continue adding in more houses around the edge here. Still got quite a ways away before he gets that age up through, or enough gold for that age up. Yet to rally any villagers out there. Does leave space for a mining camp. But so far, Beastie, I mean, his defense, I wouldn't say it's impeccable. There hasn't been a whole bunch of, a whole lot of defense. He's just been using the Khan for the moment, and the Khan's working down that Donzo, and you can see the Donzo obviously throwing its spear on cooldown. This one here's got one available. Villager going to be coming out to repair the Uvu now, just as it is about to hit that threshold of burn. But Scout going to chase it away. Donzo going to be moving forward. You can see he's trying to bait him into the town center here. Now that Uvu is lit on fire, it's under 350, so it's going to have a little bit of assistance here with the siege down. Villager coming in. Second villager going to come out, repair, looking pretty decent. Beastie actually stacking up that wood as well, up to about 300 wood for the moment. Double villager moving out. Donzo, definitely not a lot of Donzos. I would have loved to have seen about 4 or 5 Donzos, which would have made it, you know, almost impossible for Beastie to defend this position. But we can see that Uvu does stay alive. Villager goes down. Bit of a mistake right there by Beastie. Not going to be catching that one. We can see that the javelins are available now, and it's going to be an archery range that's thrown down. But quite a lot of damage that's done here, especially that villager being lost in the early game here. We'll check it on the other side of the map as Marine Lord begins his age up. He's got plenty of buildings around the mining camp here, or around the pit mine rather. Looks like the Uvu is going to stay up for now. So Marine Lord, unfortunately, not successful here. And Donzo is slowly but steadily getting whittled down. He's also got that maneuver arrow that he's just popped off, but looks like the Donzo does go down. So he's taken out 2 Donzos early on in this game. And it definitely feels like the Donzo might be one of those units that is just a little bit stronger when it's got more of its friends ready to party with it. Let's just put it that way. But now Beastie going to be looking like he's getting on the aggressive with an outpost going to be coming down here. And Marine Lord going to be the one that is now on the receiving end of this aggression. Another Donzo making its way out onto the field. Boar getting pulled here. Very, very cute little play there from Marine Lord, looking to try and defend his base with his mother. She is helping out, and it looks like the boar reaches the lure range, and you can see that it still remains on the minimap. Note that there's a single boar in the middle of the map here. This is really the Thunderdome, the Battle Dome, isn't it? It feels like it. There's not a lot of space between you and your enemy, and on the backside of your base. I mean, you've got barely anything that you can really build back here. We see a double range going to be coming down now for Marine Lord. So I suspect he's probably going to be moving into that classic combo Donzo plus Javelin throw. We can see the upgrades coming through for the Donzo as well. Moving that up to a hardened upgrade. Take a look back at the base of Beastie and see how he's doing, as he could potentially think about going for a second TC. No longer working on any more archers. He's going to be dropping down that stable. We can see he's trying to get some decent control here for the moment. Doing a bit of a rotation around the base. Archery range gets spotted out. He also sees the second one behind the TC, dropping down another outpost here. This is where it gets tough. And now it looks like it's going to be Javelin throwers coming out for Marine Lord. So he's going to be looking to defend and hold on this position. Now the issue is going to come when he needs to clear out these outposts, because arrow slits is coming in. Now, granted, there's not a lot of units here for the moment, but another barracks is going to be coming up. Marine Lord's got pretty decent economy behind this. His macro is looking pretty healthy as well. Less than 100 resources here for him at the moment. Javelin throwers getting some pretty decent shots off. Now going to be able to focus down those villagers. We can see them pushing forward. The Donzos are going to be turning their attention towards that outpost. Keep in mind, he does have arrow slits up now. He's looking to try and go up against these Javelin throwers, but just remember, the 3 ranged armor going to make it very hard. Villager coming out and actually getting taken out. Second villager, third villager back here. Very low health. More Javelin throwers, and you can see why these Javelin throwers are so damn strong in this early game. Look at them go. The Javelin thrower actually pretty damn decent. Couple of horsemen coming out. Donzo's in the backside. Unfortunately, they do brace, but unfortunately, the units in front of them are going to be taking the majority of that damage. Another Javelin thrower coming out. Horseman going to be losing its life. The outpost does eventually come up, so it definitely seems like Marine Lord a little bit stuck in the base at the moment. Things are not looking good for the Malians. Back in the base of Beastie, he is indeed working towards that second town center, so no real surprise there. Nice little expansion point here over towards the west side. Berries as well as the deer will be able to grab access off. Could even look at pulling that boar over. It's that bloody close. But now moving around, it looks like he's really looking to clear out this position. Donzo's getting pulled, Javelin throwers as well as the villagers, but going to be losing quite a few villagers in here. Outpost going to be going down. We see 2 villagers on the ground. There's the third one going down, but with this, going to be able to clean up the rest of, or at least he should be able to clean up the rest of these archers. Let's see how good the micro is. You can see fires, continues. Fires and continues, and just continues throwing. 1.25 movement speed as well, so technically should be able to keep up with the archers. Doesn't get the last shot off, unfortunately, but Beastie has definitely done a decent job of slowing down Marine Lord. We'll do a quick villager count and check where we're at. 29 for Beastie, 28 for Marine Lord, so relatively even. Obviously, Marine Lord took out a villager of Beastie's early on, but Beastie collapsed back. And now we do see the second town center coming down. He's going to go nice and safe up behind his own existing TC, but push out now going to be coming through from Marine Lord. And how do you deal with this? This is the question, right? Because Beastie's got no ability at the moment to go to that castle age. And now the pressure starts to pile on. And this is where it gets really difficult to deal with. What do you do against this combination in the Dark Age? It really starts to feel like it might be the ultimate Dark Age combination. And I think, that's what we're going to have to call this. We're going to have to call this video the ultimate Dark Age combination, because it 100% feels like it. And I'm curious to see how Beastie plays it. Falls back away from the Uvu that once existed. He's got double stone out here. No real other stone, unfortunately, for him. But now, moving in towards the villagers on the gold mine. He's going to be able to idle out this gold mine. Next gold mine is going to be out over towards this east side. And geez, Louise, this map is just absolutely crazy. The Thunderdome. It is, and now another outpost. You can see, like, just the strength of outposts, of static defense in this game. the fact that people are willing to pull villagers and just put these outposts down because they realize the threat that it serves, and the fact that your enemy is going to be investing so many resources to try and deal with this outpost. But not only is it going to be denying this goal, but it's also going to be acting as that static defense in that position if it ever looks to get taken out. But now the second town center is up for the Beastie. Checking on the other side of the map as Marine Lord's going to be working towards that castle age. So it's going to be the primary difference here that Beastie's looking for is an advantage with regard to its economy. Villager count, 33 for Marine Lord, 35 for Beastie. So it's starting to pull ahead. Now the skirmishers, as well as the Donzo, is going to be finding that second town center. I don't think he's seen it yet, but he's going to see it now, and he's going to go, ooh, well, I don't know how I feel about that one. Numbers here looking healthy. 10 Donzos, 7 of the world's finest of your javelin throwers, but that age up might have been cancelled. Marine Lord says, you know what? We're not aging up. We're just going to cancel the age up. Moves a whole bunch of villagers over to the gold, though, so never mind. He's not cancelling it just yet. Cattle is coming out. He doesn't really have a lot of room for pastures. Might have to think of pastures down here, especially on a map like this. And now the toll outpost is up. Yet to get the emplacement on it just yet. Beastie expanding now out towards this eastern side. Securing up the position as well. Making sure that it's got plenty of coverage with those outposts. But now, a little bit of a push coming down on this southern gold mine. Donzo going to get taken out. He's got a couple more back over on this position. Keep in mind, these guys going to be able to fire off their javelins towards the units. Not a lot of damage, but look at the speed that comes out. 1.56 movement speed. Now the javelin's going to be coming out. Throws down a little bit of attack, or rather speed. And the age up now coming through for Beastie. Oh my lord, that came up quickly. That came up very quickly. I didn't even see that one at all. So now manages to go for the second town center and get the age up through without dying in the second age. Very impressive stuff now. And I think that really speaks a lot of credit here to the power of Beastie and how good he is when it comes to this kind of thing. Like, he's literally in the corner, nowhere to run, and still finds a way to go castle age with 2 TCs behind this. So impressive stuff. Incredible, impressive stuff. That is it. But Marine Lord really pushing up with those numbers. Only got villagers and cows in queue at the moment. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing as those pastures are indeed coming online. It's chilling out at the moment. These guys need to get in your pasture, cattle. What are you guys doing out here? He's just doing a bit of a patrol at the moment. Does spot the step out. Knows that the age ups come through. So Men-at-Arms probably the best choice to deal with this combination. Now keep in mind the Donzo does have it's got 1 melee armor, so it's all right against the Men-at-Arms. But hey, Men-at-Arms going to absolutely destroy it. And now we see the town center moving forward here. He needs to block this one and does so successfully. Now going to be doing impressive as the Stepper also going to be coming out here, focusing down the villagers with the javelin throwers, also focusing down the outpost with the Donzo. So nice little position. And now that Khan going to be going down. I'm loving these javelin throwers. Really, the javelin throwers absolutely awesome. The Stepper does manage to go down. Donzo's slowly but steadily getting taken out. Villagers now going to become the focus of the javelin throwers. Look at them go as they throw. And now just incredible stuff from him. He does have the emplacement coming out on the outpost, managing to tee off towards the Khan. Is that going to be a good game? Is that going to be a good game? You guys know what it's like when the Khan goes down. There's a big bad frown over on the face of Beastie, but he is up in the castle age, so we'll check and see whether he's got the Men-at-Arms on the way. He's got triple racks coming up. Keep in mind, no Uvu, which means no double production, so it's going to be slow and steady with the Men-at-Arms. And now Men-at-Arms make their way out onto the field. One of the things to note, the Donzo does quite well against them. Obviously, it's got that +1 melee armor that exists there, but also got a ranged attack that it can use. Lancer going to be coming out. Still a pretty decent amount of Donzos in here. He's got 2 of them. Should be enough to hold that position. Whoa, geez, 5 Donzos just coming out of nowhere. Marine Lord really putting the pedal to the metal now in the second age. The ultimate feudal army. It's looking good. It's looking solid. Question is, how is it going to deal with the Men-at-Arms, especially once they start getting upgrades? Once you start seeing +1 melee armor, once you start seeing +1 ranged armor, that's when it starts to get very, very difficult for him. But you can see it's going to be a huge focus on Donzo, still pumping out the javelin throwers as well. And now that Step Red out going to have to get out of here. Beastie in a little bit of trouble. He's up to the castle agent. Look at the surround coming through. He's trying to prevent this one from coming back, and he gets the surround. And now we've got a little bit of a problem for the Beast. He's stuck in the corner. Villagers looking to try and break this position. They're going to be able to do it as well. He's researching the fortification on the outpost. It increases the fire armor, increases the health, but it's not going to matter because even though he loses villagers, 19 of them just managed to brute force that one down. It looks like the Men-at-Arms did also free up the Step Out. He's got 2 relics actually in the base. The relic game here is very interesting. 2 more out the front of this one. And now we've got more pastures coming down. Mill also going to be dropping in a couple. It doesn't look like, with Pasture's position this way, you would suspect he's not going to go for the Big Cow landmark. That is the official name of the cow landmark. Big Cow landmark. Big Cowboy, I will also accept. It's a little Nasax inspired name. But yeah, Marine Lord, I mean, he's looking pretty solid at this point in time. We can check in with the score. I suspect Beastie might be a little bit higher because of his age. But look at the scores right now. They are neck and neck. Look at that. Within 16, 17 points of each other. That just goes to show how close these guys are, how well matched they are. Blacksmith now going to be coming down. And Beastie just under attack once again. Prayer Tent might be forced to pack up and leave as more outposts come through. And you just got to love this map. It's just a hilarious map. This real Thunderdome, Battle Dome thing. Marine Lord now moving out over towards that west side. Going to be starting to take the berries. He's also got the deer there, ready to roll. He's picked up a couple of upgrades already. We see the ranged units continuing to move across the map. The Donzo is just so damn strong. I'm loving this combo, honestly. I just want to play feudal only and just make this unit combo and just laugh at my enemies as they can literally do nothing to counter my amazing abilities. I think the reason why it's so strong is because the javelin throwers have got that extra little bit of range. So it means they're able to take really, I guess, aggressive stances, and it means that it's harder to punish them because the Donzos are always able to come in and they've got their spears to throw at range, which also counter cavalry. But now that Uvu going to get denied, and with that, an outpost going to be thrown up here. Let's see if he's got fortification on the way. He does. He's got arrow slits as well as fortification. This one's been fortified. It doesn't look that fortified, but I'll take it. Relic gets picked up. Pretent did indeed move back away from that relic, and it does get plonked in. Second relic on the backside also going to come in. So 2 free relics for each player. Definitely feels good to get to the castle age, but the first of the battering rams is making its way in. Donzo numbers looking healthy, 14 of them. He's also got some pretty decent skirmisher numbers, and I suspect Beastie, he's going to be moving towards, indeed he is, it's going to be a siege workshop, so Mangonel's going to be the name of the game here, and I think that's very smart. Difficult to deal with the Mangonels here, but I guess the other option that you could look for if you really wanted to, you could go into Warrior Scouts. Now, I think they're called Warrior Scouts. Forgive me if I've gotten that incorrect. I'll try and find a stable back here, but you know, it seems like a perfect timing for the Warrior Scout transition. They're fast, they're pretty, they regen health, and we see Marine Lord now going to be looking to get up to the castle age himself. We'll take a look and see the landmark. It is going to be that Farimba garrison, so going to be avoiding cavalry for the most part here. Still no stable, but I guess the other option that he could look into would be a siege workshop of his own, and then potential Springlords. But we can see Mangonel as well as a traction trebuchet going to be coming out of the siege workshop. We'll see if he's got it. Doesn't look like he's got it rallied anywhere there. Oh, never mind. You've got to view the player point of view to get the rally point. Mangonel does get spotted out by the Toll outpost. We can see he's got fortification on both of these guys down to the south. He's looking to put up a third outpost in the north with the fourth one sitting well behind, and the Mangonel is going to be moving out. He cancels it. Realize he can't actually hold this position. Battering ram also going to have to fall back away from it. Keep in mind he is aging up, so you might as well just age up, collect your upgrades, and keep your mass. As it's a pretty decent mass that he's actually built up here. Total of 26 units. Not too bad at all. Villager now might unfortunately lose its life. The Mangonel does have splash damage, and I think he realizes that now. Huddling inside. Mangonel continuing to fire off. That outpost will be going down. We'll check in and see whether a siege workshop comes up, and look at that immediately. Proxy position here. Very smart move here from Marine Lord. I wouldn't be surprised to see a second one drop down as well, just to really put the nail in the coffin, but I don't even know if he needs it. I mean, he might be able to just get away with Springald production. Honestly, now that I think about it, you could almost 100% just get away with only Springald production, and then just continuing with this. Man-at-Arms is going to be the main issue that you've got, though, going for a composition like this. We can see the Villager just doing a little bit of dodging. Look at the way that he's playing, doing the dodge. I think this might be it, unfortunately. Indeed, the Villager does finally go down. Marine Lord's Villager losing its life. We can see triple pasture down here. He's yet to add in the cows over to that third one. And Marine Lord doing the cardinal mistake here and getting the javelin upgrade. Unfortunately, at the Farimba garrison, where he should be making units, because not only does he make them cheaper, he makes them faster. It's the equivalent of 5 barracks. So the first of the Springolds are out. Looks like the traction trebuchet has also come out. Yes, the traction trebuchet is also out at the moment. Outpost going to be coming down as well. Check in and see the upgrades. Veteran javelin throw obviously through. Veteran Donzo's also come through. Marine Lord looking pretty solid as he tries to push through. We also see a Veteran Musafadi upgrade, which is going to be very effective here against the men-at-arms. Keep in mind, Veteran Musafadi, it is countered by archers. And obviously you've got your javelin thrower. So it all comes down to micro, comes down to shift clicking, making sure you're taking out the archers. And the problem with the javelin throwers is that their projectile time actually takes quite a while to get in and hit. So you can actually throw every single javelin at the enemy, and that enemy will still be alive for a good half second. Now we can hear that movement speed boost being thrown off. Trebuchet looming and looking once again. He's going to be able to clean out this outpost, the toll outpost. Unfortunately, not going to be collecting too much of a toll down in this southern position as it does get cleaned up, and Blacksmith going to be forced away for the moment. Mangonels looking to fire off some shots. Big shots, though. They do go wide over towards that east side, and second Springald does join the party. Third Springald is out and about. It looks like the pit mine is going to start being added in. A couple more houses around the pit mine. Slowly boost that one up and collect that passive gold. And speaking of passive gold, back here, still got 1, 2, 3 relics, all within the same screen, yet to be picked up. Mosque is out. Yet to see the Imam coming, but it is in queue. Now those Springalds looking to try and take out the villagers. Look at the Donzos, as well as the javelin throwers just teeing off towards them. Unfortunately, the battering ram, got to be careful there, my friend. And now we got ourselves a little bit of a fight beginning to break out as the men-at-arms begin moving forward. Javelin throwers on the backside. Springalds trading out. Beastie with a nice little micro there. Mangonels continue staying alive at the back, yet to really engage. The men-at-arms hold the front line. Javelin throwers continue focusing down. The men-at-arms do a decent job there. Look at the damage that comes out there. We're right on board with Beastie and watch the health of the units as they do slowly but steadily come down. Uvu finally going to get thrown down again for Beastie. He's been playing this game for 21 minutes, and I feel like he's had an Uvu for about 3 of them. It's not a good position to be in. You know what? I take it back. 6 minutes. He's had an Uvu for 6 minutes. It's not a good position, but we do see those Springald numbers starting to get pretty healthy. We'll check in with Beastie. I'm curious. I don't think he's got the improved siege engineering. No, he doesn't. So all of these Springalds are coming from his siege workshops. Now he needs to get a second siege workshop down. Hopefully he's done that. It doesn't look like it though for the moment. Still just sitting on 1. It's going to be very hard to get back into that fight. With more Springalds coming out, we can see Beastie's already got 6 Springalds out. So if you ever want to get back on top, you're going to need to go double production here. Speaking of double production, it looks like our Uvu going to have some buildings moved over here shortly, or at least some trained. Traction Trebuchet firing down upon the units. It looks like it hits a Donzo square on the head. He's taken about 59 damage there. What you'd expect from a boulder the size of that. But still holding on. Musafati warriors are now out on the field. These guys do go invisible, countered by archers, and they actually counter heavy units. So they do quite well against these men-at-arms. Keep in mind, they are cheap, they're fast. Kind of like a palace guard that doesn't have any armor. But they do have, obviously, they've got their blacksmith upgrades. That's about it that's going for them, though. We're right on board with Marine Lord as that infantry army continues improving. 135 population versus the 121. Slightly higher military, slightly lower economic. Big damage coming in from the Mangonels. It's a triple shot as the Donzos move forward. Springald's on the backside, completely getting taken out. It's a beautiful trade, but the Mangonels just sitting back nice and safe. He's done a beautiful job of keeping them alive. And now finally it's going to be 2 Springalds against 1. The 1 Springald goes down, 2 Springalds remain, and now they're going to be able to force back the remaining siege. At the same time, the veteran javelin throwers are forcing back this position. And Marine Lord looking solid for the moment. But Beastie, keep in mind, he's got that economy going for him. We're yet to really see a big mass of Musafati warriors. But now they start to build up. We'll take a look at the Farimba garrison and see how it's doing. Nothing in queue at the moment. More javelin throwers on the way through. Looks like we've got the second siege workshop finally out for Marine Lord. So he heard the calls of the Drong and indeed did the right thing. But men-at-arms, it's got +2 ranged armor. No +2 melee armor just yet. Not even +1 melee armor. Villager count for him at 73. 67 for Marine Lord. Did he add a second TC when I wasn't looking? It doesn't seem like it. But he does have the pit mines working for him. He's also got a couple of cows, just a handful of cows. You can see he's got 2 handfuls, 9 to be exact. And the central sacred site now getting taken, a single sacred site on this map, the Battle Dome. This is an absolutely ludicrous map. I don't know how this is legal. I don't know who authorized this, but here we are nonetheless. You know what? Do we make this map? I think that's going to be the thumbnail, right? That's the thumbnail there. It's going to be the Battle Dome right there on the map. The devs actually turned this into a real map. I can't believe it. The Battle Dome, the Thunder Dome. Which I don't know which way to go. I feel like Battle Dome's probably the best one. I'm going to have to Google it and double check because one of them's probably an adult movie and the other one's probably a movie about NASCAR. So I got to make sure I pick the right one. Can you imagine the battle, the battle dome? Let me just tell you guys now, it's a Japanese. It's a Japanese movie. Oh God, Drongo, stop it, stop it. You've already been demonetized once. You don't need to be demonetized anymore. Springle's now moving forward. He hasn't got him in the line formation, so we do have a little bit of a double trouble here. Line formation coming out on the other side though, so Marine Lord. Oh, actually no, he doesn't. Neither player going for the line formation just yet. Nice little shots here. Manages to hit the outpost on the head. We see Greek Axel is going to be coming in as well. Now, still no +1. Musafati Warriors on the backside, looking to try and defend this position. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode all of a sudden because we've got ourselves a bit of a battle unfolding. Springle's firing down upon the enemies. Mangonel's moving up as well. He's got 4 in the backside. Musafati Warrior is going to continue fighting up against the men-at-arms, but as soon as those Mangonels unfold, you're going to have trouble in paradise, and indeed they all go a little bit of a curious position. Musafati Warrior is just running past, going to start attacking the Springles. Springles looking decent, but at the same time, he's got javelin throwers. Javelin throwers, javelin throwers. Just throwing their javelins, hitting those men-at-arms. The +2 ranged armor going to be coming in strong. Remember, the closer we get to Marine Lord's base, the sooner he gets those reinforcements, and the further away he gets, or Beastie gets away from his own reinforcements. Musafati Warriors going to be looking to do a little bit of a run by. It's just mass infantry here. Who even needs cavalry? Definitely neither of these guys. That seems to be the case. And now the Trebuchet going to be going down. The men-at-arms running rampage through this position, and it seems like, where is the response to the men-at-arms? That is the question, because it feels like there is barely a response coming out. He's got the javelin throwers, and they're going to be able to not quite one-shot the Khan. It's going to be a 2-shot. Khan does go down. Springle now going to be firing off towards the position here. Should be able to 2-shot the first of the Mangoes. Second Mangonel probably going to get taken out shortly. He's got to be dancing. He's dancing. He can dance all day. And now another Springle comes out for Beastie. He looks to push this one back, but we see a third Springle making its way out onto the field. Triple Relic sitting inside that position. Men-at-arms just rampaging through the base now of Marine Lord like an elephant in a tiny, tight town. Things are not looking pretty for him. And we've got Beastie in a solid position. We'll bring back the UI so we can witness exactly what's going on here. It definitely feels like Marine Lord's on the back foot, though. I can't help but feel like he just had no adequate response to these men-at-arms, and I think that sort of begs the question, what's the best way to deal with these heavily armored units? Obviously, when it comes to the Lancer, that's easy to deal with. You get a little bit of a donzo out and you're feeling great about yourself. But when it comes to the men-at-arms, I think that's where you start to struggle. We can see these they're kind of like longbows. That's the way it feels. 11 damage. It seems reasonable. They do have a couple of upgrades that they have access to. Most importantly, they've got, I think is it +2 damage available to Marine Lord if he wanted to. And then another +1. So he's missing out on 3 damage on each of these javelin throwers. 14 times 3, 42 damage. And that could be the difference in these fights. So, you know, it sucks that he's failed to get those upgrades, but we do see a keep now coming up for him. Keep in mind, there's plenty of siege out from Beastie already, so this should be more than capable of dealing with this keep, which looks doubtful to get up. Villagers under attack. You can see the huge amount of damage on those vills. Second shot going to be coming off. Man-at-arms coming underneath, and now Beastie looking to absolutely clean up this position. Keep is indeed doubtful, inspired by the Lord himself. Now the Springlord's getting off a cheeky little shot. Managed to do a decent job on that Mango. Let's see if he fires off on the Springlords. Indeed he does, but it's a 2-for-1. Beastie Micro, it's always on point when it comes to the siege. And now the Mangonel shot landing on the javelin throwers. This could be dangerous. This could be poor. He gets the stagger formation, but oh my lord, that Mangonel just kills 5 of them. And good game gets called. Marine Lord taps out. Beastie Cutie takes this series from 2-1 up to 2-2. And we head to the final game to find out who will be the victor here, fellas. This one was sponsored by EGCTV. Make sure you go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description. 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. We'll catch you guys in the next one.